Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, we are going to be doing day 8 of our 12 days of coloring Christmas. Today's word is candles. And I know, yes, that's weird coming from the Christmas Cats coloring book, but there is a really pretty page in here that features candles. I have never colored one of these pages, so I'm excited to give it a try. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. There's a lot of stuff in here that I'm gonna have to deal with, and I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. So I do have some colors pulled out. I'm gonna be working with my Speyer Farben pencils today too, so hopefully they will work well in this book on top of the markers, and we'll find out if they don't, I guess. But I am going to first, because I just noticed this, I'm going to first continue this horizon line because it disappears over here. So I'm going to just go ahead and draw that in where I think it might go. I'm going to give it a little bit of a flavor over here. Well, and I will show you. So on the inside cover is the sample of the book. I'm going to be doing probably something, I mean, a lot of the greens are going to be where the greens are. A lot of the reds are going to be where the reds are. I have a pretty basic color palette kind of picked out, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I probably will be drawing some inspiration from the front cover here. And since I've never done one of the cats in here, typically when I do cats, I try to make, you know, I give them all the fur texture and everything, but it's going to be kind of hard to do when you are trying to color everything in there as well. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to continue the horizon line. I'm going to do it with pencil first, just in case I don't like the way that it is. Okay. So at least there's a horizon line there now. So all of that will be snow. This in the sky is going to be blue. And I've got a couple of different blues, except so for my alcohol markers, I pulled this blue, but I don't know if it's dark enough. So I've got a gray as well that I'm probably going to layer over top. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I will talk to you guys again here in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and get at least the sky colored in. Oh. Okay, and then on the snow in the background, I'm going to use my BG 000 and add a little bit of a line right underneath the horizon there. And then I'm going to color some down here and then just kind of fade it out as I get closer to the top. So I'm going to use my alcohol or my colorless blender to do that. Okay, all right, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, see what happens with that. Let's work on, let me just get a base layer of color down on these pine needles, because then I can use pencils to make them look different if I feel like it. Okay, the only thing I didn't think about was the candle glow. I might need to have a little bit of yellow on some of these leaves, the pine needles, so I'll have to come back in with a yellow pencil or something and make sure that I have the right glow on that. Let's do some of this stuff. So I'm gonna color in, I'm trying to think here. So I think what I'm wanting is I want like a gold border, probably with my gold paint. So this is not Creative Expressions, Cosmic Shimmer watercolor. by Creative Expressions. And I'm going to use that gold paint around the outside edge. But then I also kind of want to outline this leaf, but maybe I should do that in a different one. Maybe I should do gold and silver. I don't really have any green watercolor, shimmery watercolors that I think would work. So I think that's my plan. Or maybe I could do this all in black and then outline these leaves in gold, do all these swirly bits in gold. Yeah, I think I want gold. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So these leaves will be done in gold, but these other leaves will all be green. I'm just gonna go ahead and do those. So I'm gonna color them in. I'm gonna color them in with this one. This tree for sure is gonna be green. So we're just gonna go ahead and color that guy green. And it's not gonna have any shadows from the candles, I don't think, because it's behind the body, so it would be kind of in shadow anyway. I'm gonna finish up the rest of the holly that I see. I know that that one is right next to that, but I'm gonna do it that color anyway. All the holly, I know these are holly shapes, but that's gonna be on a flower, so I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm gonna go ahead and leave those red. Maybe I'll just do that part gold or something on those. I am gonna do that part back there with pencil so that I don't mess it up. I think this tree back here is gonna be this darker green. I think. Is that what I wanna do? No, I lied. I'm gonna do it with this light green, and then I can come in with my pencil and add some texture. This is always what takes the longest with these pages, is figuring out where you want what colors to go. It's a lot. Okay, I think I am going to continue this blue color down into here. I wasn't going to, but I think I am. Yeah, I for sure want these swirls to be gold. So then I want like the outside of the flat of these leaves to be gold. So all of the leaves will have gold around the outside. Then we'll do, I might actually just do that with my Sparkle Pop pen instead of the watercolor, because I know that that's going to be way easier. Oh, there's holly there. Yeah. And then I'll probably go ahead and color the insides of those in this green as well. And then this flower will be red. This flower will be red. This ornament will probably be red. Then the candles we need to figure out. Okay, so let me think about this for a second, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little different, because normally I would go through and get all of the page colored and then I would focus on the main element, but this time we're going to do the main element because it does kind of affect what I'm going to do with the rest of my page. So I am going to zoom you in so you guys can see what I'm doing. I've got some yellows picked out. We're going to get some of this glow going on here, and yeah, then we'll move on to the rest of the page. So for candles, they burn the hottest at the point in the center. So that's going to be almost white. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this ivory and just color the outside edge of this candle here. And then we're going to use light yellow, and I'm going to do a little bit on the tips of that. And then we're going to come out into here with that light yellow. Probably should have tested these pencils before I started this, just in case it's not going to work out for me. Okay, and then we've got Bumblebee as my next color. I'm just going along the edges of the flames, each like little section, and coloring in, like shading in from that edge. And then the last one is with just this yellow. And it's a nice, bright, shiny yellow. All right, I'm going to add in just a little bit of more of this light yellow into where I put the ivory. Okay, and then for the wicks, that color is going to come down just a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of this bumblebee to the wick. And then we're going to go just along the top edge of the candle here with the yellow. Okay, and then so it's really just going to affect this part of the cat. So I'm going to use this light yellow color first, just to kind of see where I'm wanting my color to go. And so I'm just going to kind of draw a circle around these 3 candles. I don't even know if you can see that. I can barely see that. All right, and then I'm just going to start shading in from the outside edge there. And I'm not shading all the way to the candle flame, but I'm getting pretty darn close. I am going to add in a little bit of this bumblebee to the very outside edge here, just to kind of solidify that ring of color a little bit more. All right, and then the tips of these flowers would probably have a little bit of candle glow on them, at least right here. And then I am going to add a little bit of yellow to some of these pine needles right here. So now on the candles, I'm going to color those pink, and it's going to be a really light pink. So I'm going to use this, what is this, a Prismacolor alcohol marker. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try to avoid where I put that little bit of yellow. All right, as much as I love these Schwerer Farbens, they are very limited on their reds. Like, there's only 2 that are sort of close to true red, and neither one of them are quite right. I didn't realize that when I picked these pencils to use, but we're just going to go ahead and shade a little bit with this red, and then I'll blend it out with a pink, just so it isn't quite such a harsh transition. But I'm going to go right along the edges of the candle here, and then right underneath the edge here. I'll try to blend it out a little bit with this one. All right, and then to shade that, I'm just going to use my nice dark purple. Okay, so there's the candles. At the end, we're going to add a little bit of probably some gold stickles or some shimmer, something to this, just to punch it up a little bit, because they look a little flat to me right now. And I don't know if it's because I've got them up against alcohol markers or what it is exactly, but I know that I want them to be a lighter red. I don't want them to be as dark as the flowers are going to be, but still it's throwing me off just a little bit. Okay, so I am going to go through and do some more alcohol marker work. Probably shouldn't do alcohol work while I'm trying to film for you guys. Alcohol marker work on these flowers, and probably, oh, I don't know what else yet. Definitely those flowers. I'll talk to you again here in a second. Okay, so you can see that I did add a couple more things. I did use the darker green marker that I pulled out to do the border around the whole thing. I added some browns for the horses and the deer. I went ahead and did the house in red. And then now I'm going to go through and color in some of the other little things here. So I'm going to grab my pencils. Okay, so first we're going to start with these trees here. Now, if you look at the front cover, she does have just like a little bit of green shaded in where maybe the snow wouldn't be covering the trees. So I'm going to try to figure out how I want to do that. So I think I'm going to start with this lighter green color, and I'm just going to shade up. I could always come in with a paint pen as well to get that same kind of look. I think I might do that for these trees. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So I'm just going to shade with a little bit of color underneath where these are overlapping. Again, this is probably something I could have done with my alcohol markers, but for these smaller little bits, it's just easier when I have my pencils handy. So now I'm just using a darker green and giving a little bit of shading, and then I will blend that out as best I can. Okay, and again, I'm going to do some shading underneath these parts. Yeah, and I'm just going to come in with my white paint pen and add in the snow because it's just easier that way. Well, let me grab my paint pen, just so you can kind of see how I'm going to do this. So we're going to add a little bit of a white line here, and then here as well, if my pen is going to cooperate. I may have to go get my Posca because this is not wanting to work as well, which I don't usually have problems with this Artistro pen, so not sure what's happening here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get a different pen. Got my Posca. Let's see if this is gonna work better. Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, I don't usually have trouble with the Artistro. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm going to add a little bit of shadow to the snow with this light blue color, just a tiny little bit. And then I'm going to use my white Prisma to kind of blend that out a little bit. There we go. So that's what all the trees will look like. The roof is going to be just a black and gray roof. I'm going to do white outlining on the snow. I don't know if this is a sun or a moon in the sky. I'm going to say it's a sun. I think. Again, here we go with the problems. Okay, and then I have two different blues that I'm going to be doing my shading with for the snow. I will be doing red on the horse here, black hair and stuff, and then red and white for his saddle and gear and stuff. I don't know what all that is called that goes on the horse's head to help you steer him. Then I will do this part down here as well. So I'm going to record that. I'll probably have bits and pieces in there just so you guys can see kind of what I'm doing. And then I will come back and talk to you when that is all done. Okay, so I made a little bit more progress. So far, this is what I've got. I went ahead and did the tree. I did this little bit here. I am going to show you guys how I color this deer and then kind of do a little bit of the embellishments, because I'm going to take this clear Jelly Roll Stardust pen. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use my Sparkle Pop pen or the Dual Metallic. They're the same thing. I'm going to use that as well. But first I'm going to shade in this cute little deer. So I need to grab my pencils. So I have a couple of browns here. I'm just going to start with my darker brown. And I'm just kind of going to shade a little bit of the... Actually, that's probably not where the shading would be, since the back part of the deer is by the flames. Although if I'm going like with the assumption that this stuff is painted on the cat, then maybe it wouldn't really matter where that back shadow is, but I just kind of liked having a little bit like it looks like the deer is backlit over here. Okay, and then yeah, and then I'll kind of work on this. I know for sure this would be in shadow. There we go. And then for the front of the deer, a little bit of shading on the ears. I'm just going to kind of do a slight outline around the edge of the deer. I'm not going to do too much shading on the front of it. Yeah, that should work. We'll do a little bit around the eyes here. Okay, there's my deer. I am going to use a different paint pen. I'm going to use my beige, which I don't use very often. I'm going to use that for the spots on the deer. And I'm not going to make them as circular as they are here. I'm going to make them more spotty. And just do a couple other little dots. Okay. I'm going to give him a black nose and a little eyebrow. I don't know why I like to add eyebrows to animals. I just do. All right, a little bit of pink in the ear. Probably don't need quite that much, so I'm going to shade in some brown. Just have a little bit of pink right in the... There we go. All right, there's my deer. So I'm going to make the other one look just like that. All right, while I have my pencils out, I'm going to go ahead and do the center of this flower here. So I'm going to give this a nice solid, or a nice light coat of this lighter brown color that I have. And then on the inside of this, we'll do a little bit darker. And then on this part, I'm going to do pretty dark. Okay, let's do a little bit of shading on the flowers themselves. So I did grab the deep red from my Derwent Color Soft, and I'm going to use that because there's not a good dark red in the Schwerer Farben ones. I do kind of like this Color Soft pencil a little bit better on this paper. I haven't used these Color Soft pencils very often at all, though. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of shading from the center. All of these little circles are going to be gold, and it's going to be with the Sparkle Pop pen, so that should cover most of the marker that I've gotten on those little circles. Okay, so I got a little bit more done. I colored in the pine needles. I colored in the ornament here and this ornament here. I added a little bit of color to these trees here, and then I am basically just going to go through and use a couple of gel pens. So I have a gold, a clear, and a red, and I'm going to add some details into some things with these. And then the last thing I will do is address maybe some of the fur that you would see on the cat, but it's just going to be hints of fur. I'm not going to do crazy amounts. So hopefully this won't take too long and I can get get this done today. Again, I don't know if you've noticed the outfit changes, but this is this is taking me a bit. So I'm going to work on that. I will let you guys watch some of it and speed that up, and I will talk to you again here in a second. Okay, so here is where we're at after I added in all of the sparkly goodness. I'm hoping that you guys can see all that shimmer and shine. I love gel pens. So I used, like I said, I used these two mainly, and then I did a little bit in the sky here with this white one, or clear one. I'm going to do some of the cat's fur now and his nose. Why is it a him? I don't know. I just decided it was. Okay, so pink on the nose. I'm going to use a little bit of red just to shade a little bit, but not much because I don't want the nose to be too dark. Okay, so nose is done. Blend this out with the ivory a little bit. All right, and then I'm gonna do, all right, I'm gonna use this gray, and we're gonna kind of add a little bit of texture here to the cat's face, just a little, just using a very light gray. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit under the eyes here. That one's not really going to show because that's going to be a darker stripe, but we'll do it anyway, just to say we did it on both sides. And then I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow underneath the nose and underneath the mouth here. All right, so I'm thinking what's going to happen is I'm going to have the majority of the cat is going to be white, and then these stripes and stuff. So I'm going to say like these are like texture stripes on the cat. So these markings here are all going to be like different grays, and the main body of the cat will be kind of white and cream kind of mixed. So it might end up being more white actually. I'll probably do it more white. So I'm going to use this same gray, and I'm just going to add in some little fur strokes from the outside of the face and anywhere where there would be an overlap of any objects. So anywhere where there's like shadows cast. So I'm just flicking the pencil. And we're going to go ahead and do some up this way on the nose, a few out that way. I am using pretty light pressure on this stuff too. And like I said, this is more like hints of fur than actual continuous fur strokes. So we're just gonna do a bunch with the gray at first, and then I think I'm gonna come in with this real light brown that I have here and add a little bit as well. Just a few. So I have this really light brown. I'm just gonna randomly add in a few of those in here too. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna add in a little bit of color to the tips of the ears. So again, using flicking motions, just adding some fur strokes. Maybe a little bit behind the berries here. A little bit of brown. Okay. So now now I'm gonna try to color in this stripe. This is gonna be gray, and then this part over here is also gonna be gray. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a nice layer, light layer with this, my lightest gray here. Okay, so then we're gonna try to darken that up a little bit. And I am gonna extend this color just a little bit outside of the lines that are here, just kind of keeping in mind the direction of the fur. All right, tried that. So I'm gonna do the same thing with all these other stripes now. Okay, so here is my finished page. This is my very first one in these kind of books, and it was an adventure to be sure. Trying to figure out what to do with all the colors was really a challenge for me, but I do like the way that it's turned out in the end. I think this is really fun. I'm going to tilt it so you can kind of see the sparkle, so you can kind of see, you know, make sure that the light is not glaring on some of the wax from the pencils. But I think that it turned out pretty cool. So, oh, and then the last thing I did was I added a little bit of stickles around the candle flame. But that's really it. That was it. So thank you guys for joining me on that today, on this adventure today. I am going to be doing a couple more pages. We're on, what was this, day 8? So we have four more videos left. So I've got a couple more pages and one more card video that's going to be coming up. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here today. And until tomorrow, I'll see you later. Bye.